Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So today we're going to talk about Nancy Guthrie. This has been all over my news feed for days, and I wasn't paying as close attention at first. I mean, I watched the first video. Oh my gosh, it was so sad. I cried. It was emotional. And that kind of pushed me away for a day or two. And then, as more updates would happen or another press conference, I would watch a little bit. And today it seems like it's just been one thing after the next. So I want to kind of jump in at what's happening today and watch some of the stuff that was just live just a little bit ago and look at a few reports, a couple interesting YouTube videos I had grabbed. But yeah, so that's the plan. And I don't think there's one of you who doesn't know about this. But so this is day 10. She's been missing since January 31st. She was dropped off by family. Like the press conference, and it was pointed out in a video that I watched. It kind of changed, but she was dropped off at her house January 31st. And yeah, it was interesting because Ashley Banfield, a few days ago had said the person of interest, I'm getting word that there's a person of interest in the family, the son-in-law. And the police department kept saying, no, there's no person of interest. But, they've been at the daughter's house, her and his house quite a lot. There's been a lot of interesting updates. So we're just going to look at it and hang out together and kind of see what happens. Hey, Amber. Hey, Neat. This is such a wild case. Hey, Melissa Jade. It's been a wild ride for sure. Melissa's been following it since the beginning. Like, remember we were on my other channel like over a week ago, right when it started. And she was talking about following it. She's my parents' age, so it's definitely scary. That is so scary. And if you try to put, like, as soon as I heard about it, my first instinct was like put myself in her mind. And I'm like, I cannot imagine how scared she must be, like what she must be going through. I hope and pray she's alive. I know that Tess had sent me a tweet from Brian Inton. Let me read it to you guys. I was going to pull it up, but there's so much to look at. He said at 7:18 tonight, so just a little bit ago, the FBI's elite hostage rescue team is in Tucson, sources tell me. So that is interesting. Hostage rescue team. That's interesting. I don't know. Could mean something, could mean nothing. But hey, Coffee. Dude, I feel like an alien on another planet on the computer streaming right now. So, bear with me. All right, what are we going to look at first? Well, today, let's see. There was the footage from the door that was released of this masked person. There was a post from Savannah on Instagram. They believe she's still alive. There's some things I could go into about the first videos, and maybe we will do that or maybe at another time. But let's take a look here. Let's start here and check out this together.
And in the search for Nancy Guthrie, surveillance images released by the FBI today are the first major break in an investigation that's raised more questions, including whether the 84-year-old grandmother is still alive. The previously inaccessible images show a masked person with what looks like a handgun holster standing on Guthrie's porch the night she went missing more than a week ago. Footage shows the person trying to cover a doorbell camera near the front door with their gloved hand before putting plants to block the camera's view. The Guthrie family was shown the images prior to their public release. And according to NBC, the family does not recognize the person in the images, which is why they were released publicly. Guthrie's daughter, Savannah Guthrie, co-host of the Today Show, posting the images on her Instagram page with the caption, "We believe she's still alive. Bring her home." Just yesterday, Guthrie posted this heart-wrenching video pleading for the public's help to find her mom, calling this an hour of desperation.
I have her other videos, but let's pause for a moment at this. Like, you really can see his face pretty clearly, like his eyes at least, and his almost, I don't know. somewhat of the shape of like the bridge of his nose. Let me see. There was even an Amazon package delivered that morning and they didn't notice the blood. Right. And what do you think the blood was even for? So there was some blood droplets at the, like on the doorstep. I mean, if you're taking a hostage, like I just try to make, that was such a weird way to say that, but I had tried to think like, what could she have gotten hurt that was just like, not a serious injury, but maybe that would cause blood like that in a one spot like that if you're up and moving, or I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully the FBI is taking those weeds a person pulled up because they stuck them in their mouth, check for DNA. I was watching someone who was retired FBI, I believe they were, and they were saying that that would be one of the things they would definitely be looking for. We know that they've been in the area today searching all the neighbors' yards and stuff, and I have a video somewhere where they'll say that Brian Enton reports that the neighbor said the police said they were looking to see if someone could have dropped something. So that was kind of interesting. Let's keep listening to this one though, because we have so much stuff that I was like saved. And again, I feel like an alien on another planet. Even just gathering stuff, just haven't been doing as much of it. And yeah, so here we go. Let's keep listening.
Bring her home. Just
I'm
yesterday,
saving
Guthrie
everything.
posted this heart-wrenching video pleading for the public's help to find her mom, calling this an hour of desperation.
No matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation.
Now, this video does seem a bit different than the first ones. And I have those videos, and maybe we'll look at them. Maybe we won't. Just depends on what we get through and what we talk about. But it does seem different. It seems like the other ones were geared to like maybe the kidnapper. And there was some language used that was kind of interesting too.
We need your help.
Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her Arizona home January 31st and reported missing the next day after not attending church. DNA tests showed blood on Nancy Guthrie's front porch. It was a match to her. And since her abduction, two supposed ransom letters have been sent to news.
Let's see.
DNA tests showed blood on Nancy Guthrie's front porch. It was a match to her. And since her abduction, two supposed ransom letters have been sent to news outlets. It remains unclear.
Now, one sent to TMZ, and TMZ, because of that, was aware of the Bitcoin account, right? Where they're demanding they want this $6 million to go to this account. So today, TMZ reports there was activity in the account. They won't say what. Maybe I think it's on this video that I have pulled up next for us to look at. I think it'll have something about it. We're just going to go through what I've got saved and see what we've got.
It's here happening right now with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. First of all, TMZ is now reporting that there is movement in the Bitcoin account. Does that mean that Savannah Guthrie is paying the ransom? I don't know, but TMZ is reporting movement in the Bitcoin account. Really, only TMZ can report this because they're the ones who got the first ransom letter and they're the ones who have the Bitcoin address. So we kind of just have to trust what they're reporting because we have no way to verify it.
Now, I love that he said that. We have to trust what they're reporting.
What they're saying. Also,
because we have no way to verify it. Because let me tell you what, I've watched like 4 or 5 different news places talk about this in the last like hour or two, and no one else said that. Major outlets.
There's been activity at Annie's house. I was telling you, there's also 2 SWAT trucks that moved out of the sheriff's office about an hour ago. We're trying to figure out what's going on there. But what's interesting with what's happening at Annie's house is, I mean, it's dozens of FBI agents that were over there going door to door. One of the neighbors told us that the FBI agents asked for consent to search his property and said because they are looking for something that may have been dropped which I thought was interesting. That's what they told the guy who lived there. So that's the latest. But the main thing is that's brand new is the activity in the Bitcoin account. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Now, this lead that Ashley Banfield got, I'm really, really curious about that, considering all the activity at Annie's house today, this Savannah's sister's house today, Nancy's other daughter. Now, this is just a quick video, but apparently the family does not recognize the person in the video. I have a much more clear picture Melissa just sent me that we can look at in a second, but
Robbie, the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie has been missing now for more than a week, and it is believed she may have been abducted from her Arizona home. And today, FBI Director Kash Patel sharing these images on social media. They had previously been inaccessible. So you can see that person with a backpack, mask, and gloves, and what appears to be a gun in their waistband. At one point, you see it looks like the person tries to cover the camera with a plant. Experts say this video could provide important clues.
Now, why was it previously unavailable? Like, what? That's curious. And I know in the beginning they said there was like no cameras. Now we know there's like more cameras. Then they're on the roof getting cameras. Then they're,
a lot of information now, not
this
only
camera
off of the gloves and the front of the backpack, but also his height, his weight, that he may have had the mustache, the color of his eyes, potentially.
The Guthrie family.
Now, speaking of that, let's just take a look at this, what Melissa just sent, because it's a way more clear picture. Oops. And thank you, Melissa. Zoom in. Wow. You can like see his mouth, his eyes. I mean, you could see, if you knew him, I swear if I knew this person, I think I would know. Let me ask you guys, what do you think? If you knew this person in real life and you saw them like this, like look at how much of the mouth, even like the teeth are showing slightly. I did see Brian Enton posted a video about the gloves he was wearing, like the nitrite. I can't say it. Certain kind of plastic gloves. Hey, Wolfie. I would know him. He's got chunky lips. Let's see. Who wears a reflective vest during a kidnapping? Wow. Tess sent me pictures even more where you can see his eyes. Fox News, no coincidence. Retired FBI agent Jason Pack tells Fox News Digital, you don't deploy SWAT and FBI tactical units on a hunch in the Nancy Guthrie case. When those units roll out, it means a lead has been vetted to the point there is a reasonable possibility of a high-risk situation, but deployment does not mean resolution. Let's get to that for a second. SWAT team seen at the home of Annie Guthrie. Right now, this is like right now, 7:13 p.m., we are getting video into the RAV newsroom of SWAT team vehicles leaving the sheriff's office. Those vehicles headed into the neighborhood around Annie Guthrie's home. Annie is the sister of Savannah. We are also told there are at least a dozen FBI agents in and around the neighborhood. Let's take a look at this video. I am not familiar with this place, but let's see.
Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie and her disappearance and alleged kidnapping. So right now we are getting video into the RAV newsroom of SWAT team vehicles leaving the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Those vehicles headed into the neighborhood around Annie Guthrie's home, which is a few miles from Nancy Guthrie's homes. The mother, Annie, is the sister of Savannah Guthrie. We are also told there are at least a dozen FBI agents in and around the neighborhood of Annie Guthrie's home and seen outside of the home. This after they were conducting numerous searches yesterday and today of that house as well. We get this news after getting what could be the evidence that cracked the case wide open. Our buddy FBI Director Kash Patel released this video on his Twitter account, and it shows who they believe is the alleged kidnapper of her, trying to cover up the Nest doorbell camera. Now, what's interesting about this video is that
we are just kind of hanging out and watching things as they happen. It seems like it's like new update after new update. Look, waiting for maybe something else about this Bitcoin account or whatever. Just hanging out, going through some of the stuff from this evening. And we just started a few minutes ago. The color enhanced image is interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. The one that we just saw that Melissa just showed. I'm guessing that's been it. That's the color enhanced image.
I first thought whoever did this was very good at what they were doing, but you'll watch here, he goes back to the flower bed and tries to pull like branches apart to cover up the Ring doorbell. If you had cased the house and you knew there was a Ring doorbell, wouldn't you just stick a piece of duct tape over it before you ultimately removed it, which is
interesting. But what if you have hired somebody to do it for you and they haven't necessarily been right up at the house? I mean, I don't know.
He did. Now, he's also got a gun on him hanging from the front of his waist. And quite frankly, I've been in and around the gun industry.
I was like, how do you have such clear footage? But I trust you. So I was like, wow, just look. And then it took me a second to put it together in my mind, the color. But when somebody said that. But this is such an interesting point. But again, like if you hire somebody, you know,
for a long time, and I've never seen anyone carry a firearm in that manner, coming literally directly down from the front of his belly, under his belly button, hanging down. They're all very strange. Now, from the video, we can see he may have brown eyes, facial hair. There is, of course, the specific gait. You could throw the video back up there of anything you got. The specific gait of the suspect as well. And the big question would be, would his mother recognize him?
Be watching on my phone.
That's a term. When you see him there, and I believe we have some pictures now that were of this suspect. Would the mother know who that is?
Just
from
bizarre,
clothing,
dude.
from how he walked.
Hell yeah, the mom would know who that is. But also, I feel like anybody would know a plan is not going to work. How the hell I don't know. How are you going to keep it there?
Someone close to him. Whatever. My belief is someone would, and the tip line is probably being flooded as we speak, which may be the very reason why they are very close to making an arrest. Now, this video was obtained through back-end channels. Both Google and Nest were working on almost a week to be able to capture this from video that was cached.
Is that true? Is that a fact? Because I was curious why they say previously was not obtainable.
In the back end areas, not on the direct recording device. This is homicide detective Paul Ciolino on now many of the theories that are popping up here.
I don't think she was kidnapped. We would have heard, listen, there would have been a video, there would have been a photograph, there would have been something, a lock of hair, a drop of blood, something mailed to somebody so they could verify, yes, in fact, these people have my mother. Kidnappers want to get paid quickly. They don't want this thing to linger.
Well, yesterday was the deadline for this $6 million ransom, right? And we don't believe that it was paid. The reality
at 5
is we don't.
p.m. Arizona time is what I believe it was. And it, TMZ was reporting there's no movement in the Bitcoin account because, again, they can see it because they got that first ransom note. Now, let's look at Brian Enson's page for a second. I just saw this on my phone. I didn't watch it. We'll watch it together. It's just when I was checking while we were listening. Come on. Apparently,
Hey
Google.
guys, so something else new. I have just confirmed
Wow.
that the FBI's hostage rescue team, it's called the HRT, the hostage rescue team, is on the ground in Tucson, which is a big deal. I mean, it's an incredibly elite unit within the FBI. There's the FBI SWAT team, but then they also have the hostage rescue team. Those are the people who go in and try to save people who are being held hostage. They're in Tucson right now. And the sense is that there's like movement happening possibly tonight. We confirmed that the SWAT teams that left the Pima County Sheriff's Office, that movement was in relation to the Nancy Guthrie case, whether they were just going somewhere else to stage or whether there is actually something that's going to be happening tonight. I don't know. But the sense, I mean, there's a lot of things moving around right now because we have a camera at the Sheriff's Office. We have a camera at Annie Guthrie's house. I'm still at Nancy's. It feels like things could be happening. And hopefully it's good news at some point with in regards to Nancy.
Oh, I hope
But I
and
just
pray
wanted to keep you
she's
guys posted
okay.
because that hostage rescue team from the FBI is a big deal. Hey guys, so something else new. I have just
Now let's see this. I was looking at this on Fox earlier. It ended, but they had I'll just skip around on this for a minute while we look for any other updates coming in. Because I have a couple other videos and stuff, but I'm just kind of waiting to see if we hear something else about the Bitcoin. Why is my chair doing that, y'all? I apologize for that squeaking chair because I don't know why it's doing that so bad. I promise you it will never happen again during a live, ever. It's driving me nuts. Yeah, JLR was there. Let's see.
Hey, Scott, how's our signal? Is it?
Let me see.
What is that? These images, they believe this individual may possibly be responsible. All of these things put into the possible. We're not going to speculate, Colleen and Michael, because
okay, Fox 5 New York is live there right now, so let me grab that. And we'll pull that up. That is current.
They don't know if she was in fact taken against her will, but the images today of an individual showing up outside of the home of Nancy Guthrie, certainly terrifying, giving everyone pause, and now having the FBI speak out directly across the country, now including President Trump.
Okay. On the ground now, law enforcement searching for Nancy is canvassing the Arizona neighborhood of her daughter, Annie. You know that. Ooh, here we go. How Google played a key role in recovering the videos from Nancy's cameras. A major breakthrough in the Nancy Guthrie case largely came down to Google's technical expertise, a person familiar with the investigation told CNN. Authorities revealed footage of a masked and armed person at her door the day she went missing. Engineers at Google, which owns Nest, were able to recover data after several days.
No, that's good. Just less intensity. Oh, wait on. More intensity than that. In a bit after this.
The task was so technically complex that investigators didn't know if it would be successful, the source said. An FBI official said on X that the Bureau released the images within hours of obtaining them. The new images can offer investigators important clues about how the suspect's identity, including how the person dressed, how they walked, and other important details, which we know that. Seems like there's a lot of people on the scene. I mean, it's just so interesting that, you know, the whole world is watching. We're all kind of on the edge of our seats now, waiting. Have Harvey Levin loading in the background. We're going to listen to him for a second, but dang, did y'all hear those gunshots? That's what it's like living in the country. You hear random gunshots.
Yeah, they will. That we are going to show you. A masked armed person seen approaching Nancy Guthrie's home, covering up her doorbell camera. The person started putting their hand, which was covered by a glove, you can see it here, right over the camera, right? Then seconds later, they are seen taking a nearby shrub and using that, this is the shrub here, to further conceal their identity and to cover that camera. That person also holding what appears to be a flashlight in their mouth.
They probably never dreamed this would be recovered, right? Because there are certain ways that police are going to get stuff, search warrants on your own devices and the device, like different ways that we're aware of. But going through the back door like that is so interesting and kind of crazy.
Savannah Guthrie reacting with a simple message about her mother.
How
We
legal
believe
is
she
that?
is alive.
Is that going to be challenged in court later? I'm sure it's complete, it's fine, but seems like everything like that, it kind of reminds me of Idaho, right? With them, they had a policy not to give the DNA to police, but it wasn't the law, so they did do it, but it was against their own policy, that kind of thing.
Home.
Which was challenged
The eerie
later.
pictures and videos are the first substantial piece of public evidence in this case. And throughout the afternoon, our Brian Enton seeing search and rescue crews going door to door in Tucson, Arizona. That's where we begin tonight with our team coverage. Retired FBI agents Tracy Walder and Greg McCrary on what the feds are likely doing.
There's Brian Enton on the scene right where we just saw. If you look, we just saw the same flashing lights and everything. Let's hear what they have to say.
Now, Kelly Meyer over at the White House with how they reacted to all this today. But we begin once again with our Brian Enton live in Tucson. And Brian, so many new questions tonight with the revelation of this video and these pictures. And you're reporting that you were seeing law enforcement there sort of going door to door in the area.
Yeah, a couple of big things happening right now, Blake. I'll get to what's happening at Annie's in a second. But first of all, the new photos. We didn't see this coming because we were told, remember, the sheriff said that they were not able to access the video from the Google Nest cameras because there was no subscription. And then the FBI gets involved, and through back-end channels, they are able to obtain the video and the pictures, which are just terrifying. Remember when we got the blood video up near the door, Blake? I noticed that there was a pile of like shrubs right there, like weeds that had been pulled. Well, it makes sense. That is what this person was trying to use to first try to cover the camera before ultimately what we believe when he ripped the camera off. He's covered from head to toe, but you look at the eyebrows, they're pretty distinctive. You can see the mouth. You can see what appears to be possibly facial hair.
His body language and the way he moves and walks. Like, I swear if I knew this person, I would be able to know them by this video. Even the way he kind of like stepped to the side right there. Just his movements, I don't know, like the rhythm of his.
And hopefully someone will recognize something about this man. And the gloves, I want to show you this. A few former FBI agents who I've spoken to said they are 99% sure those are night trial gloves, which look like this.
There we go.
These are not medical grade gloves. These are not gloves that law enforcement would use, but they are gloves that I'm told mechanics use, hairdressers use, those kinds of jobs. And they're quite easy to get. And it looks like they may have been put on top of another glove that he's wearing in the photos. Okay, now I want to quickly tell you about what's happening at Annie Guthrie's house, Blake. That's about 10 minutes from where I am. Just within the last couple of hours, FBI teams and also deputies have swarmed that area, and they are searching
We
the
don't
brush
see
around
them.
Annie Guthrie's home and also around neighbors' houses. I just got off the phone with my producer who's over there, and she said that they are knocking on doors and they are asking for consent to search the properties around. And these, again, are properties all around
And
Annie
that's near
Guthrie's house.
Annie's
Annie
house.
Guthrie, of course, is Savannah's sister, Nancy's other daughter. Blake?
Brian Ensign live for us there in Tucson,
I
Arizona.
just have to make the point. Look, Banfield has this tip about Annie's husband, right? And this is not, I did hear today, this isn't like a new husband. This is 20 years they've been married. But regardless of all that, she gets this tip, and then we keep being told there's no persons of interest, which of course they're going to say that even if it's not true at times, right? I've seen them say that up right until the moment they've arrested someone and they've been on their case for days. But we hear that, and now we've got all of this activity, the house being searched multiple times, you know, now the neighbors' yards and looking for something that could have been dropped. That just speaks volumes to me. And they're not searching Savannah's house or her neighbors' yards, or, you know what I mean? So that also, I don't know. Some are saying the guy's eyes looked like someone's bandmate. I saw someone else mentioned in here, like a friend of his. They do make medical grade of those types of gloves. People will use those if they have allergies to latex. They're mostly used for medicines, food service, hairdressing, stuff like that. Hey, Care Bear, Bard of Cards. It's all good, MK. I'm just happy to see you. Let's keep listening. My headphones are freaking dying. I cannot believe this.
But let's bring in Tracy Walder and
I don't know
Greg
how I'm gonna
McCrary first. Both of them are
work
retired,
it out, but I'll figure it out.
retired FBI agents. Tracy and Greg, thank you. And Kelly, I'll get to you in a second. I want to start there, though. What does it suggest to you, Tracy, on Brian's reporting that they are now in that area and sort of going through the brush, Tracy?
Well, thank you for having me, Blake. Obviously, it suggests to me that there is perhaps something of interest in the area. Now, that I don't think that that is from the videos that we have seen. I think it may be from witness interviews. It could maybe from digital evidence that is pointing them into that direction where they are searching that brush. I am starting to think now that perhaps this person didn't get very far, because if you think about it, you're leaving with a 150, 160 pound person who is relatively immobile. Where exactly are you going to go? And so I think, I don't necessarily think she's there in those bushes, but I do think that there could be some kind of evidence or tip there that they've been tipped off to.
Greg, you were in the behavioral specialist unit over at the FBI. Given the video that you just saw and the way that person was moving and how they were reacting at the time, anything that you picked up on that you think the FBI picked up on this evening as well?
Yes, I think there are a couple of issues that especially the public needs to be aware of and could be helpful with this. One thing I would say is that this individual or individuals, whoever has done this, their normal routine has been disrupted since the abduction. So, you know, we can go through.
Hold on one second, you guys. Let me get my phone for a second.
Through all the clothing and all that, that's fine. But another thing that to be considering is the fact that this person maybe now isn't going to work as usual, isn't at the usual coffee shop. They've been totally consumed with this abduction since they started it, and it's just taken over their life. So their normal everyday routine has been disrupted.
Okay, now I'm just completely screwed. My headphones died. And I had a really great video I wanted to watch with you guys. But maybe we'll do that another time. Let's look at this. Neighbor of Annie Guthrie says law enforcement asked to inspect outside of property. Maybe he let someone in the back door. It sure is a puzzle for motive. Okay. Lorenzo Jensen, a neighbor of Nancy Guthrie's daughter Annie, talks with CNN on Tuesday, February 10th, after law enforcement came by and asked to look around the outside of his property. Jensen lives behind Annie's property, which he said he didn't know was hers until recently. The only other time law enforcement came to his home was about 5 or 6 days ago when they were canvassing the neighborhood and asked if he had heard anything. Surely if they were, canvassing the neighborhood of Savannah's at Savannah's house, or, we would hear about that. I just think this is so interesting. Law enforcement have been knocking on doors in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood asking whether they can look at their property. It appears residents are cooperating. Some people are seen in FBI t-shirts and others are seen wearing vests and hats from the sheriff's department. Several officials are walking around the area, some with notebooks. And I think I saw JLR streaming that earlier. Officials were seen at the daughter's house Sunday while lights in the house appeared dim and shades were drawn. Yeah, this is another thing. So 2 days ago, you could see pictures were being taken. It looked like the flash from a camera over and over again. This says bright flashes, possibly from authorities taking photographs, were observed through the windows. The investigation remains active and ongoing, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said yesterday. Why would they be in there taking photos? You know? Thick foliage and secluded lots make it hard for cameras to capture the street, a neighbor says. Now, this is a neighbor of Nancy's. He says the lots are approximately an acre, but not only are they large, but as you noted, the foliage, the cactus, etc., the scrub, it's very dense. Our camera, for example, captures the front of our yard, but not the roadway, just because of the distance. So it captures the courtyard and nothing beyond that, and that's not atypical. The neighborhood is considered very safe, and there were often people jogging or walking their dogs at 10 or 11 p.m. He said, adding, this is very unusual occurrence. Steph says, immediately after the video was released, they started going door to door in Annie's neighborhood, and JLR was right there. It did look dark, Deco. It did. Then the article says the lights were dim, but I saw it on video, and to me, like when the flash happened, it really lit it up a lot, so it looked pretty dark. Officials see uptick in calls after the images are released, which I bet you they have. Absence of gear in photo could have a couple of explanations. He's not wearing a backpack or a holster. There could be a couple possibilities why this photo appears to be different to other photos. So apparently at some time, I don't think I saw that in the video, but I guess they like little bits were released at first, just the photos. But they're just talking about how, different timestamps in the video. He's can be seen with different equipment. So Cash Patel was in Arizona, apparently to something unrelated. And that's also what I think about with this hostage thing. Is there a chance that could be unrelated? The hostage team, like all together and ready. Ex-FBI agent says the kidnapping was highly premeditated but poorly planned. The person is obviously not familiar with guns or the use of guns or the deployment of guns. The individual has a small pistol in a holster meant for a large revolver, and it looks holstered at the belt buckle. He called the person in the video an amateur, pointing out they did not seem prepared to cover the doorbell camera, and said it appears to be the first time they have ever done something like this. They confirmed it's Nancy Guthrie related to local news. Okay, interesting. The entire video, which is over an hour, will be released to the public. I have no idea, Bushi. This is something that I've been watching for days, but loosely. Like today really was the first day I've kind of been, paying attention for longer periods of time and kind of diving in. So I honestly don't know about that. I didn't realize it was even that long. It just doesn't seem to be sophisticated enough to have been able to have been pulled off for 10 days now. I agree. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, knowing they have the Bitcoin account, and I don't know. They've got more than we know. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try not to think too much into that, because every time we watch a case go to trial, and I mean every time, we're sitting here thinking, I wish they would do something, or, they need to be doing this or that, or they say they have no suspects. Like, why would they say that when this person is clearly involved? And the whole time they've been working on it. So the person, and we just heard this in the video we were watching, the suspect's daily routine has been disrupted. Going to work, the coffee shop, doing whatever. Highly unlikely that has remained the same. They've got a victim to take care of. So again, the family does not recognize the person in the video. The sheriff's office had to ask the public to not call 911 or their non-emergency lines unless they have actionable tips, saying the lines are not the appropriate venue for opinions or commentary. Oh my goodness. Everybody's a detective these days. It's crazy. That is just crazy. I feel like the Bitcoin ransom note to TMZ isn't real. I feel like that part is a hoax. Well, didn't they send they sent the letter to TMZ and the local news, and then the second one only to the local news? She did. She said her source is impeccable. Let me see what other new things we have. I'll have to unplug my mic though if there's something that I want to watch with you guys. Let me just keep looking here for a second while I look. Masked person appears at ease in the video. That's interesting. He's not rushing. He knows he's not being observed, so he can take his time. Now that the video has been released, the person in the video is likely feeling a bit panicked. Once you get some kind of video out there, all the dominoes start to fall. I saw that possible mustache. So former FBI official highlights possible mustache. It kind of looked like that in that photo that Melissa sent. That was more clear and in color a little bit. Forget what she said it was, but it did look like he had a mustache. FBI preparing to process incoming tips as fast as possible, former official says. Again, the holster seen in the video, not what a frequent carrier would use. This is talking about Trump. I do know the White House has been involved. I think they're getting regular briefings. And for some reason, and look, this is good. I'm glad so many people care, but I just want to take the moment to say, I wish that, having just covered a case that you couldn't find any information about. I just hate that it's like that. I wish they all got the White House's attention. But I mean, I know that's impossible. It really is. And any attention is good, right? People only have so much time, but Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera disconnected just before 2 a.m. So, and then didn't her phone disconnect from her pacemaker at 2 a.m.? Guthrie's family members drop her off back home after dinner and a game night. Her garage door opens at 9:48 and closes at 9:50. At 1:47, her doorbell camera is disconnected. 1:47. So here's 45 minutes apart. About 25 minutes later, surveillance camera software detects movement. At 2:28, the pacemaker app shows the device was disconnected from her phone. So what is that? Like 40 minutes apart, 41 minutes apart. Let me see. This is a live video from NBC on my phone. Pull it up while we're looking. That's why it's important to have your doorbell cameras or security cameras somewhere high and inconspicuous. True.
This moment in time, kind of through a back-end system.
I was, and I'll tell you why. Normally, if you have a subscription service, your data from your Ring camera or from your Google Nest camera is uploaded to the cloud. And it's stored on the cloud, and you can access it later. So if you have one of these subscriptions, you can go back and say, hey, what was going on my...
Okay, I just wanted to check because it said breaking, new details in Nancy Guthrie abduction. FBI is still offering $50,000 reward. They posted it this afternoon as a reminder that they were still offering this. I don't know, you guys. I guess we kind of have to wait and see. Let me see if TMZ has posted anything. Again, let's go back to this live footage really quick from Fox New York. I think it was. Yes, Fox 5. I can't hear it, but... yeah, I don't know, you guys. I guess they're just going to wait and see. And if something happens, we'll talk about it. I'm following now. I'm hooked. We're not going to do it tonight because my headphones died. But I really wanted to play like the different videos Savannah and her siblings had done and kind of watch their body language and not to at all villainize them at all, because I don't want to do that. But just like in reference to what the ransom note might say and the words that they're using. Like at one point, Savannah says, like, we can't wait for you to come home and to celebrate with you. And it's like, I'm curious about that. And there's a couple other things I noticed like that. So I wanted to play them like back to back. They were saying they were ready to talk and they would pay. And then it seemed like the video that we saw, was it today? This last one came out. She just like, I don't know. It seemed different. It didn't seem like a plea to the kidnappers anymore, which I don't know. It just seemed different. So I'll be curious to see what's happening. I know there's a lot going on we don't know about, that nobody knows about. But I guarantee you one thing, as soon as it's public, a lot of us will know because it's everywhere. The body movement guy, no, I didn't. Will you send it to me? If the ransom isn't real, why would they take her and not take anything else in the house? So the ransom has to be real. But I can't imagine they kept her this long. Oh, really, Bushi? I haven't seen that. Didn't know they talked about it. But maybe if there's, especially if there's some other news, we can come on and talk about those, all of those things. I think that the ransom is real. I kind of think that, thank you, Tess, the TMZ stuff was legit. And unfortunately, they sent it to TMZ, who made it public instead of only keeping it a secret and telling the police, you know? I just think I'm really curious that, look, I've seen Ashley Banfield get reports about stuff that was right and stuff that was wrong. I'll be honest, in Idaho especially. But like her or not, you got to admit the surrounding evidence, like the other things happening, are making you go, whoa, what is going on here? And not that like pointing the finger at anyone, but why are they searching where they're searching, you know? The TMZ part is what makes me feel wishy-washy about the ransom. Why send it to TMZ? Well, because Savannah is, you know, Today's Show host. Maybe, I don't know, honestly. Why TMZ? And maybe because they knew they would make it public. Maybe that was the goal. I don't know. Kind of press the family a bit. If the public knows, that applies a different kind of pressure. I'm not sure, you guys, but I guess I'm going to wrap it up there since my headphones died. And if anything happens, I'll make a post. I'll share about it. I'll be in the Discord. If I'm not here or somewhere, if something happens, we'll be talking about it somewhere. I can promise you that. And yeah, I'll be watching. I know many of you guys are on the edge of your seats. I swear it does feel like the whole world is watching. And it's kind of crazy, again, that it's gotten the attention of the White House. You know, in so many cases don't do that, whether it's famous people or not. So there's going to be a huge twist in this. I'm afraid to pray there's not, but look at where the evidence has led. Someone was detained, just sent it to you. Whoa, okay. Hold on. They have whoa, breaking. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Office has detained a person of interest in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case, per multiple reports. This comes after FBI's elite hostage rescue team deployed on the ground in Tucson, and several counties had SWAT teams mobilized. Let's hope prayers have been answered here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, let's see what else we can find about this really quick before we go. I mean, I don't think that we'll know for a little bit maybe who it was. Thank you, Tess. Here's ABC News reporting. Person obtained for questioning in connection with the Nancy Guthrie abduction. The Sheriff's Department, with assistance from the FBI, has detained an individual for questioning in connection with the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. The individual was detained in a location south of Tucson, the source says. And law enforcement is preparing to search a location associated with the individual. Oh my goodness gracious. The development followed the first images after released of a masked man approaching Nancy Guthrie's front door. Oh, they are about to search somewhere. This is on ABC News, what I'm reading, but let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I am going to, I bet you CNN is where I'm at this page. No, they have not posted it. Just one second. Here we go. This is what I was reading. Person detained for questioning and Nancy Guthrie abduction. Wow. So an individual was detained in the location south of Tucson, and law enforcement, this is the biggest part for me, they are preparing to search a location associated with the individual. Wow. Okay, you guys, masked and armed when he was detained. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go, and we're going to talk about this more. I know we are. So thank you for being here. I'm feeling so like on edge about continuing to try to like research and look with you guys without my headphones on because I can't hear shit if we were to hear something that we wanted to listen to. So yeah, we will talk about this soon. As soon as we know who it is, I will I hope she's okay too. I'll make a post. I'll just make a post. That'll be the quickest thing that I can do. And the FBI released the video, Becky. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I hope she's okay too. What if she's found at the location where they're searching? You know, I hope she is. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. And I hope you have a good night. Bye.